Okay, I am not sure how to do a project in the background and make sure that my playhead is where it needs to be, etc., 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 etc. And at the same time, this is one of a couple of reasons why I don't like to use my phone for this. But I'm not going to have a choice now, because this iPhone 6, I've already told you about the iPhone 6. If it wasn't for the Apple Watch, I wouldn't have the iPhone 6. I would be getting rid of it in some way or another. And this, what was supposed to be the YouTubing iPod, that's going into Simply Mac, period, because this is the biggest problem I've had with it, but this is a problem that I cannot, I can't use it like this. I hope the playhead stays where it needs to this whole time, because I don't know how to change it. If it moves, I don't know how to change it. Hi, I need a help desk appointment, I guess. I have an iPod that won't charge. I've tried plugging it into different wall outlets. It will not register. The export finally finished, and I was like, okay, seriously, what's going on with this battery? And it was still at 18%. And I plugged it in again. It still wasn't registering. Went to a different plug. It still wasn't registering. I'm like, okay. Meanwhile, something's draining the battery. I don't think there's anything wrong. I think it's just apps open or something. I've turned it off because it's down to 18%, and I don't want it to completely be flat, which it still might do anyway between now and 1:30. But it needs to be looked at. Okay, I have an appointment tomorrow afternoon at the Mac store, or Simply Mac, whatever that place is called, to find out why that, that's just really not good. I might, oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. We'll see what happens. Maybe it's just the way I'm putting the thing in, or maybe something's truly wrong with that machine, and if that's the case, maybe, well, I don't know what's gonna happen. We'll just see what happens, but I'm having to use my phone for everything. I know my phone, it does multitask, but you know what I think makes me the most nervous about all this? I have had a history of the playhead just moving to places I didn't necessarily want it, and I didn't realize it was happening, and even if I did realize it was happening, I don't know how to change the playhead and put it back at the end of the document, or the end of the project. I think I know what the secret is, which is keeping it constantly in iMovie and making sure that you don't touch particular parts of the screen that might move the playhead. The problem is I can't keep this in constant iMovie. This is my phone. You're supposed to be able to do that with an iPod that's gonna work, but I don't have that option with my phone. And now that my iPod will not charge correctly, I don't have any choice but to use this, because the other iPods, I suppose I could try using that again. My problem with the other iPods, although maybe it's something I need to get used to, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know anything right now. Not about YouTube and technology and iPods and blah, blah, blah. Actually, I know it's not that bad. It's just, this is like, I really did not need this. And this is the beauty of iMovie. When I just blank out, and instead of having to listen to 10 minutes of silence while I try to figure out what the hell I was saying, I can turn this off. Anyway, I'm a little freaked out. I really didn't need this. Oh, yeah, the iPods, the other iPods I have, I have tried creating a movie in them, and it took forever to export. I may have to just get used to that, because if the problem with the mic turns out to be pod might have something to do with a different file type than what should be exporting. Maybe the iPods are exporting the right kind of, or not exporting, but recording in the correct file type when this is not. Well, actually, if that's the case, then I need to get used to spending a solid hour or an hour and a half trying to get a 15-minute video to export to my camera roll. On the other hand, it's also just as possible that the mic is screwed up, and now so is the plug. So if that's the case, I don't know. Oh my God. If that's the case, I don't know what to do. Well, if that's the case, well, yeah, I guess I do. If that's the case, I keep using the phone for my YouTubing until I can get to Apple and work with Apple to get a new machine. Unless Simply Mac can do it, but sometimes I feel like Simply Mac and Apple, even though they seem like almost the same thing, they're not. And there are some things that Apple just won't let Simply Mac do. And you know what? If there was a true full-fledged Apple store closer to where I lived, I wouldn't mind. But there's not. The closest, well, first of all, the closest one to where I live is a problem to get to, because I already talked about this in previous vlogs, I believe. My door-to-door transit system will not pick me up and drop me off at the door. They will drop me off at some bus stop and expect me to get into the store, and then expect me to come out of the store and go to some bus stop. No, I'm not doing that. I can't do that. So my only option is to go to this place, this Apple store in a whole different city, and go into that Apple store, which I'm going to have to do sooner or later. Okay, anyway, I've got to pull myself together and make something out of this day. It is almost 10:30. I've got to eat something, be ready to leave at like 12, whatever my window is, do a little bit of exercising, come home. I may end up taking Uber somewhere, because that takes me... Actually, no, I probably shouldn't. I should... Okay, hush. I should come home, finish working. Okay, this is driving me crazy. I'm going to create an email to my teacher. Hi. Obviously, with my computer being out, I am using my backup computer for everything from work to leisure. Jaws is reading things like 3 and 4 times over, reading the same line or to, well, no, the same line. Same line or sentence over and over and over instead. Is there any is there a setting or something I need to play with? To make it knock it off.
Obviously with my mountless computer being out, I am using my backup computer for everything from work to leisure. Jaws is reading things like 3 and 4 times over, reading the same line or sentence over and over and over instead of just reading the final truth. It's driving me nuts. Is there a setting or something I need to play with to make it knock it off? Sharon.
Okay, I am not even going to read this. I don't know if anyone can actually understand this voice, but if you can, listen to this. Some name I don't even recognize. 2 times 25. Some crap I don't even understand. And I've been listening to this voice for 20 years. Delete. I have no idea what that was saying. I've got to get the Braille Sense working. The Braille Sense would not do this crap. I'm going to get through this week's meeting because we are already Wednesday. And although there's no hard, fast deadline, I'd like to get this done. You know, I've never let it wait until like Friday before. I don't want to do that. But this business word, JAWS won't read the whole file through, and it just decides to stop every other line and read 1 or 2 words 300 times over instead of moving forward is driving me crazy. I will get through this week's stuff, and then I really have to get the Braille Sense set up. What does that mean exactly? It means getting my work email set up with my Braille Sense, because once I put these files together, I have to email them out to people. Yay, I just got a call from my teacher, and my good computer is finally back. So, I mean, I still want to get the Braille Sense set up, but at least this good computer, JAWS seems to know how to behave with the good computer, so that is still, just in general, that's something that I'm not going to want to deal with, though. I may have to go call the JAWS company about that, though. Because once the good computer's back, I don't know how much the commission's going to be concerned about helping me make the old computer work right, which is understandable. Well, we're pretty much at time. You know, there's a part 1 to this vlog that I don't know if or when it's ever going to be seen, because I recorded it on the iPod and then realized that it wasn't just a screwy little fluke. It was, honest to God, that iPod will not charge. So I'm not going to be able to use it again until we get this resolved. Or it may be that iPod just being on its way out, which I hope they'll just exchange it. I do not want to. Anyway, we'll figure that out later. We're at time. If you enjoy what you've seen, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, which is probably going to be later today. Bye.